Stay tuned. The show is about to begin.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Colletto Show here on Fireside, streaming to my YouTube channel. I've decided to go micless because the platform is not the best in terms of navigating, looking at the camera on my phone, and also having a mic in my hand. And sometimes, as I've seen in the videos that I do when I don't have a mic but I'm speaking, that it doesn't make a total difference all the time. So I'm just going by what I feel at the moment. So, with that being said, uh, let's dive right in. Um, First, I think life and maybe just sort of needing a self care break was the reason that I didn't do my weekly show last week. Um, but I'm back today, and I'm going to dive right in to something that I watched, or not watched, but that I read recently because I look for autism stories, and there is a threshold as it relates to news. Um, I read a story from Minnesota, and trigger warning, it's a little bit disturbing. Um, a young man who just entered high school was badly beaten by somebody who is a senior and is a few months away from being 18. And um, he had to have staples put in his head. His eardrum ruptured. And the reason I'm bringing up this story is not because of the injuries, although this person is verbal and did voice that he was angry over what happened. I bring up this story because very often, especially children on the spectrum, they are judged very quickly by people who are not on the spectrum, that don't have a diagnosis, don't have anything that's visible. So, and as people begin to go back to school, and I'm in a state where they haven't gone back to school yet, but they are going back very soon, right after Labor Day. My message with that is to please not judge too quickly whether somebody's on the spectrum or not. Don't judge too quickly because you never know what somebody's going through. And especially for those on the spectrum, they may not be able to voice it or show you in diagrams what it is that they're dealing with or how they're feeling. So I just say, please be kind to one another. And that is what I want to say with that. I send out my prayers and well wishes for that guy in Minnesota and hope that he can make a full recovery and continue to live a great life. Because I'd love to see him have his own version of a great story, like I have my own version of a great story. So that is the one story that I wanted to talk about with autism and the educational part. Now, what has happened since I last did a show on here? Well, um, my YouTube channel has grown. I may have reached 300 the last time I did this show 2 weeks ago. In fact, I think I did. But in case anyone is viewing this for the first time, I did recently reach 300 subscribers on my channel. And you can feel free to go through all my YouTube Shorts videos anytime, or the long form stuff. And if you like what you see, you can feel free to subscribe and help grow the autism ecosystem. Um, and what else has happened is that I have attended my share of events. Um, so the week of the last time I did this show, I went to another hatchet throwing place for a networking event, and and that was fun. All of it, the axe throwing, the networking, that was all a very fun night. And then um, the that particular upcoming weekend, as I reflect, I know I did a number of different fun activities that weekend of August 19th and August 20th. I'm just struggling to remember those in the moment as I record this. But I do know that this past week, um, I attended a couple networkings, back to back early evenings. One at a local ice cream place in my town, and another one at a wine and liquor place a little bit further away from me. I'd say about 35-40 minutes, depending on level of traffic. Um, but it was indeed fun. So, oh yes, that weekend of August 19th and 20th. Yes, I remember what I did those days. Um, I attended my town's food, wine, beer festival, which was an okay event. Um, got to meet a local musician. Um, I made it work for me. Um, you know, not as crowded as 2 years ago, but people are out and about more than they were 2 years ago. So it was good. And then the next day I went to an artisan market street fair at a downtown that I have grown to love over the past 2 years in terms of being there and the community. And while I didn't have a ton of interactions that day, the few that I did were really good. Now, this past weekend, I got to go to the beach in the summertime for the first time in 8 years. I did go to the beach last fall for a fundraising event with Autism MVP Foundation, But this time I went to the beach with a family that I'm friends with, and that was fun. It was a fun day, and I also got to go in a pool that day. And the fear of my skin burning and um, motion sickness after a while from the waves, fear no more. I had a great time. I kept my top covered, and it was nothing but fun in the waves. The pool was a little bit cooler. It was cold, but I had a lot of fun. And then Sunday, or the day before this recording, I went to a street fair in a town that I've gone to the summer street fair, I want to say 4 times now. 3 years straight and in 2019. Obviously, we couldn't do it in 2020. So that is the roundup of what has happened since the last show that I've done. The update that I have is that beginning tomorrow, or August 29th, I am going to be joining a fellow autism influencer, Carol Jean Whittington, on um, LinkedIn Live on the last Tuesday of the month. Um, and I'm looking forward to that and being a part of that and sharing more more in depth about my networking experiences and answering questions about that. Um, because there's a lot that goes into that, and um, a lot of prep work, um, telling my parents about what I'm doing, um, possible preparations for weather if it's not supposed to be completely terrible, but may need to be careful with managing it because of weather. So things like that. So I'm very excited. And so for any of you viewing my own show, if we have not connected on LinkedIn, um, please feel free to at least follow my LinkedIn. Um, or if you send a connection request, make sure to um, write a little message with it, um, preferably, um, because I may not have any idea of who you are, but if you send a message with your request, then I can look at it and see that you are legitimate. So, just for security purposes. So, um, but I want to thank anyone who listens to this live or on replay, either on Fireside or YouTube. I hope to be back um, either next week or the following week. I can't say if I'm going to do this show on Labor Day or not. I may do some kind of activity, and it does get difficult for me to want to do this on a different night during the week. But um, I will be back with my show soon. And um, maybe not in 2 weeks. We'll see. I don't know how I'm going to feel about potentially doing a show on 9/11. Um, but stay tuned, because I might be able to do something with that, and and honoring those who gave of their lives that day, or who lost their life, or have faced health issues because of that day. So, but until the next show, I send you all love, light, blessings, and peace.